I get asked about 10 times a day, where do you get your stones from? Where do you get such beautiful cabochons, drilled stones, and other pieces? Well, the short answer is art stores and the internet, like everybody else. But how do you get such wide diversity and colorful, gorgeous, semi-precious, and precious stones like that? Well, the short answer is I didn't. For 9 years, I got all the same basic stones that all of you can get at your art stores online. It took years to build up enough knowledge and understanding of how to hunt and find deals, and eventually just put enough value out to enough people that people who had accumulated a lot in their own time and learned way more about stones than me decided they wanted to give some as gifts. Now, I always want to feel like I'm giving back more than I'm getting. So a lot of these gifts and a lot of these stones I come by, I put into kits that are up at the Etsy shop that you can get. They range from very inexpensive beginners kits, intermediate kits, to very high-end kits full of a lot of the stones you just saw and a lot more. But you don't need gorgeous, beautiful stones. You're an artist and you can create the art around anything. So after wrapping a lot of these stones, I'm really not impressed. And you might say, oh, that's easy for you to say. No, but I mean it. I've wrapped so many of these beautiful stones and there is an enjoyment in it. But what I enjoy the most is making wild, crazy tapestries out of stuff in ways that no one thought of before. And that doesn't require using the beauty of the stone to make your piece beautiful. Let the beauty come from within you. And I know that sounds hippy-dippy and all loosey-goosey, bippity-boppity-boo, but it really is the truth. So I'm going to show you how you can take any beads, any little pieces. They could be glass, they could be wood, they could be anything. They don't have to cost you a lot. They can cost pennies. And get some of your wire and make crazy, amazing tapestries that stand out and catch the eye, and I think are way cooler than just taking a flat stone and making a simple pattern over it. Let's do this. Now, there are endless possible ways to do this, but I found this pattern is one of the simplest, and it always looks amazing. It's almost impossible to mess it up, and it only takes like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 beads. We're just going to use 5 beads right now. Roughly little ones. You can use 8mm, 6mm, or 4mm for this. We're going to use a few of each. We use one 8mm. It's about the size of a chickpea. A bunch of 6mm. They're about the size of green peas. And one 4mm, about the size of the head of a pin. These two just happen to be dragon skin jasper, I believe, and these are Picasso jasper. Looking at them more closely, they're all very earth tony, which is what I like, and they all have a kind of character with a little bit of veins and speckles and stuff, which is also what I like. But you can do whatever you like. You want pink, purpley, cute colors, or dark, black and gray, whatever. Just pick some colors and beads that you like, and use whatever wire you like. But this tutorial works best with 18 gauge and 20 gauge. I prefer 18 if you can fit it through the holes in all your beads, but 20 is a really close second, and I'll use either one. In this case, 18 gauge fits all my stones, and this nice yellowy brown vintage bronze is one of the earth tone colors I like a lot. So we're going to use that. Now, you don't need to take a lot. I'd say maybe 2 feet is good. I'm going to take 2.5 just in case, because sometimes I like to do something extra and I don't want to run out of wire. So for you metric people, that's a little bit less than a meter. But that's one piece of wire. That's pretty much your whole pendant, and you're going to see how much fun you can have with this. So first thing you want to do is come to the middle of your pendant. You can do that by putting the 2 ends together, and then you find the middle. I like to put my largest bead, which is what's going to become the bottom, in the middle, because I like to weight it down like that and then slowly put smaller beads as I go to the top. But you can do it any way you want. I've done this with all the same size bead. There's no right or wrong. But you get your first bead into the middle, and then you just lock it in by bending the wires together. Now, if you want, you can wrap around this bead a couple times to make like a fun little tapestry thing going on, or not. It's up to you. And then I put the next bead on about a centimeter, about half an inch to an inch down. And then I lock that in by just rolling the wire around it. Boom. Then I put the next one on the other side, stagger them, lock it in. Sometimes I'll alternate whether I'm going under or over as I wrap the wire around it. That kind of gives it like a cool pattern. Now it looks like a tree full of planets. Pretty cool, right? I think so. Now I want to bring them together. I start to roll them up and back so I can place them how I like. And as I put them together, I want them to kind of stagger like this. So they're fitting every which one, but I also don't want them too far apart. So I'm going to roll this a little closer to the main one and then roll the others to fit likewise. And I just play with it for a while. Don't go crazy. Till I just get kind of a pattern. I'm looking for kind of a lemon shape around here because that's just the shape I like. But there's really no right or wrong. And, you know, mess with it a little more until I'm happy. Now this is good. I'm going to take these two strands next and bring them together like this. And then I'm going to make my top loop. First I'm going to bend it all the way to one side, and then I'm going to roll it back to make the loop, because that's generally how I make a pretty balanced loop in most wrapping situations. So there's my loop. I'm going to roll it till I get the size I want. And then I'm going to lock it in by twisting it once. 180. Boom. That's locked in. I like how all my little planet beads are floating. I like where they're existing. And now, basically, what we're going to do now is just make some curves coming down to the bottom. Every once in a while we can wrap around it to lock it in. We're just going to make some curves coming to the bottom, wrap it, make some curves coming back to the top, and then wrap across this top loop to scarf it and end it. Cut off the two ends halfway across and tuck them in the little bowl, and we're done. So it'll look something like, I don't know yet, but the two strands will come down like this. Maybe make a curve like this. Maybe they'll wrap around here. Maybe they'll come around here. Maybe they'll wrap around here, and then they'll come back up like that. Boom. And you have this cool, funky tapestry that's like the coolest, funkiest ever. How will this one turn out? I literally don't know. I'm just going to look to where the wire feels like it's going to go and just let the wire talk to me. Here it goes. I feel like this bend needs to come in here like this, come across these guys. I feel like it needs to separate. You can separate your strands at different points and bring them back together if you want. I feel like they need to separate around that red stone there. And then I feel like they need to come together and wrap around this big stone here. And come back, and look, I ran out of wire. I should have taken more wire. So now you know, take about a meter or more, or you're going to run out of wire. But that's totally fine, because check this out. I'm going to take this guy right here. I'm going to put him through here like this. So he still adds an extra little loop at the bottom there. But I'm going to pull him through here. And that just gives me this tiny little bit to make a curlicue. So that's what I'm going to do. Just going to roll it, make my little curlicue, roll it sideways, my little swirly swirl, and just tuck it right there. That's like a cute little curlicue. Now this guy is going to do the job of coming back up to the top and scarfing. So come around here, and we'll wrap right here. We'll wrap right here. We'll bring it up like this. And we'll scarf it. Now we don't have two tabs to tuck in, just one. But look, we made it right to the end. We have just enough left. I could cut it, but I think I can make it around. So I'm going to wrap it like that. Tuck that little tab into the bowl that I made. Tuck it diagonally in and then shove it down. Boom. And there's our scarf. Turn this sideways and you put your cord through and you're done. Or you can put some jump rings like I like to do and put the cord through the jump rings. There we have our first tapestry. Let's do another one. This time with more pretty colors and silver. Now let's take a little bit more just in case, and we'll roll the beads a little tighter together. So this time I'm taking a little over 3 feet, a little over an entire meter, but the pattern's pretty much the same. I'm going to start with the big stone, put it in the middle of the wire. This time I'm going to have the wires chase each other to wrap it, so it kind of makes like a swirl around the bead. But the rest is the same. And don't go crazy. It's more fun to make 10 of them than to worry about making one just perfect. But you also can adjust them a little bit. Kind of move things more where you want them. But overall, make a ton of these and have fun.